Here's the truth nobody tells you when you feel stuck. You're not being ignored, you're not forgotten, and you're not behind. You're being prepared. But preparation doesn't feel like progress. It feels like delay. It feels like nothing is happening while everyone else is moving forward. It feels like you're watching life pass you by while you're standing in the same place, praying the same prayers, asking the same questions, waiting for something to finally change. And that's where frustration starts to grow. Because you start looking around, you start comparing. You see people stepping into opportunities you've been praying for. You see doors opening for others while yours remain closed. And slowly that question begins to form in your mind. God, what about me? Did you forget about me? Am I doing something wrong? But what you don't see is what God is doing behind the scenes. Because God is not just working on your situation, He's working on you. And that's the part most people don't want to accept. Because we want the blessing, but we don't want the process. We want the outcome, but we don't want the transformation. But God will never give you something your current version cannot sustain. Because if He gave it to you too early, you wouldn't have the discipline to keep it. You wouldn't have the wisdom to handle it. You wouldn't have the maturity to protect it. So instead of rushing your life forward, He slows you down. He stretches your patience. He puts you in seasons that feel uncomfortable, unclear, and even unfair. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because preparation is not loud. It's not visible. It's not something you can post or celebrate. Preparation happens in silence. It happens in moments where you feel like nothing is changing. It happens when you're forced to sit with yourself, confront your mindset, and let go of things you thought you needed. And that's why so many people quit in this season. Because they misinterpret the silence. They think God has stepped away. They think the delay means denial. They think the lack of movement means nothing is happening. But that's not true. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean God is not working. He's working in ways you don't understand yet. He's aligning things you can't see. He's removing what would have hurt you. He's building a version of you that can actually handle what you've been praying for. Because the reality is, the person you are today is not always ready for the life you're asking God to give you. And God loves you too much to give you something that would break you. So He prepares you instead. He refines you. He corrects you. He stretches you. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it feels slow. Yes, it feels like nothing is happening. But something is happening. You're changing. You're growing. You're becoming someone different. And that's the point. Because when the moment finally comes, when the door finally opens, when the opportunity finally shows up, you won't just step into it. You'll be ready for it. So maybe you're not stuck. Maybe you're not behind. Maybe you're not forgotten. Maybe God is taking His time with you, because what He has for you requires more from you. So the real question is not, why is this taking so long? The real question is, am I becoming the person God needs me to be for what I'm asking for? And if you really want to understand what God is doing in your life, you can't keep looking for Him only when it's convenient. Because there is a reason why the Bible speaks about seeking God in the early hours. There is a reason why Jesus Himself would wake up while it was still dark, just to be alone with the Father. Because there is something powerful about the moments when everyone else is asleep, and you decide to get up and seek God anyway. That's where discipline is tested. That's where the flesh has to submit. That's where it's no longer about feelings. It's about hunger. Because anyone can pray when things are going well. Anyone can seek God when life is easy. But not everyone is willing to wake up in the middle of the night, when they're tired, when they don't feel like it, when no one is watching, and still say, God, I need you. Because that's where something shifts. That's where clarity comes. That's where God begins to reveal things that you couldn't see before. Because when you choose to seek Him in the dark, He begins to show you the light. So maybe the breakthrough you're waiting for is not going to come from doing more, but from seeking Him deeper. Show up for Him, even if sleep is lost.